afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to this female encounter in the Nigeria National Division 1 Volleyball League. It is a match between the CNS Chief of Naval Staff Volleyball Club versus Olalomi Queens of Kwara State. The CNS Spikers are ahead with 11 points. CNS Spikers have 11 points while Olalomi Queens has 5 points. Has been a timeout call for Olalomi Queens, and this is the end of the timeout. The CNS Spikers with the serve. JC number 9. That was an excellent serve. Off speed. Good set. Oh, that will not be a good spike. She spikes to the net. JC number 7 right there for JC number 11 right there for CNS Spikers. It will be JC number 8 for Olalomi Queens. Good defense. Bad contact. The first official saw that. He blew for 2 touch. That will be JC number 5 for CNS Spiker without error. It is JC number 8 still serving for Olalomi Queens. She serves out. It is 12-7 on the scoreboard. Not so good a pass. She just tapped the ball back to CNS Spikers. CNS Spiker goes with the kill, but she hit out. This is the Nigeria National Division 1 Volleyball League. It is a match between the CNS Spikers Chief of Naval Staff Volleyball team and the Olalomi Queens. The CNS Spikers comfortably leading 13-8. Good defense. Set the ball back to position 4. It was defended. Set ball. Oh, she gives it back. Go back to position 4 again. Oh, that would be a brush. It was a touch and the ball went out. The point goes to CNS Spikers. You can see all the excitement and jubilation celebrating the CNS Spikers by their supporters club. They are cheering their team. I hope they cheer their teams to victory. It will be JC number 13 with the serve. The ball still in play. Go to position 2. And she hit out again. Excellent reception. She goes in with the hard hit. The ball still in. Ball still in play. The libero with the pass. Instead, that goes for position 4. Oh, she goes for outspeed and she gets the point. The CNS Spikers are playing brilliantly this afternoon with a 5-point lead. It is JC number 12 serving for CNS Spikers. Good serve, nice reception by the libero. Send the ball back. Oh, that will be an error coming from the libero of the CNS Spikers. Good serve, bad pass. They send the ball back to Olalomi Queens. Olalomi Queens don't get a hit on the ball. It was defended. She hits the ball. She was blocked. Set the ball again. She hit with the hit. She goes again with the hit. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. CNS Spiker still serving. He serves the ball across the net. Well defended. She goes for the kill and she hits out. The match seems to be very difficult for Olalomi Queens as they trail by 4 points. They are down by 4 points. She serves the nets to give the CNS Spikers an edge again to lead by 5 points. CNS Spiker and JC number 11 also serves to the net. JC number 8 with the serve. Good pass. Crosses the ball. The ball, she jumps for a hit. She didn't get it and it goes out. That is a good serve. Good set. But she just tapped the ball. CNS Spiker comes for the kill. It is defended. The ball still in the air. She defends it. Her adventures is about to pay. She still defends it again. To send the ball back to position 4. The ball still in play. She goes to position 4. She hits the ball out again. Will be 14-18 on the scoreboard. The CNS Spikers lead by 4 points. Good pass. Great hit. It is another timeout call for Olalomi Spikers. I beg your pardon, it's Olalomi Queens. While the CNS Spikers take the lead by 5 points, 19-14. You are welcome back. It is the end of the timeout. The CNS Spikers will be the one to take the serve. Bad reception. She just hit the ball right into the hands of the defender. That would be a big bump on that ball. Good serve. Let's hit the ball right into the hands of the defender again. She continues to hit as hard as she can. CNS Spiker on JC number 12 seems to be ruthless in this match. The CNS Spikers are having a good time as they smile all through the points. It has been properly defended. She hits it, it's still defended. She goes. Oh, she has been sent back. JC number 6 to stop JC number 6. It is 22-14 on the scoreboard. CNS Spikers leading. Oh, another point for CNS Spikers, 23-14. The CNS Spikers continue to dominate. They seem to have no equals in this Division 1. It's all be set point for the CNS Spikers, 24-14. She's come up with a good serve. She serves right into the court. She goes again for the back kill. The ball is defended. She gets the ball. So it's blocked. Oh. That will be double contact. It is 15-24. A set point for the CNS Spikers. Good pass right there. Goes for back attack and she gets it. That will be the end of the set. CNS take the lead.
And it's a beautiful welcome with a jump start right inside of it. It is match day 5 right here in the Indoor Sports Hall Packet B FKO Abiola National Stadium. We have been in the volley excellence and the pleasures all through the National Division 1. Seeing a couple of games played from day 1, 2, 3, 4. Today being 5. It is match number 5 as well. And we continue to enjoy the pleasures of the game, the beauty of the bombs, of course the perfect setting, not to talk about the spikes that comes thunderous and make us cheer so loudly for the game that we all love. My name is Sean Pablo GCFR, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to the commentary box as the game between CLS Spikers is right up against the Olalomi Royal Spikers of Quora. Let's get in there in the commentary box. We also have George Maleka, who have been riding you through. I hope you do good.
Yeah, absolutely. I did good, but you were missing right here in the commentary box.
Of course, we're back here. Well, I had 2-3 days of some marathon shift, and at the end of the day, the body had to break down. You know, it has to really be taken big care of. And we're here making sure that I get re-energized, and I am right now. And we are back at it, making sure that you did not miss any part of the action, as well as any part of the commentary, as we continue to pleasure you with the very best of volley excellence. Coming here at the very first set wrapped up in the favor of the Chief of Naval Staff Spikers, CNS Spikers, they are love to code. And of course, they won that one by a margin of 10 points, taking it home 25-15. Right here in the very second set of it, they still put a 2-point lead to still show that they are in charge of this game. But you will not take away nothing from their opponent. Olalomi Royal Spikers of Aquara State really have proved to actually be the discovery of the tournament. So far, so good for them. Coming through from behind to actually make the biggest comeback in the tournament so far. It was a 2-set down, and they came through to win it 3-2. And it continues to make a lot of rounds and a lot of conversation amongst the volleyball community right here for the most populous black nation of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sparking with fire here, just as a spikes and as well as a game. And they continue to jostle for it, makes massive impact to put it back in play. Well, she is still down, calling for the attention of the referee. And it will have to take the line 3 George to make the assertion and call the attention of the first referee, as the second referee will also be there. But the medical team of Dr. Oko steps in very quickly to resuscitate the young lady as she continues to lay flat on the ground. Well, it's about first aid first. First things first. Get her up on her feet, and the next will be taken from there. And that's exactly what they are doing, taking her off the court. Obviously, there's going to be substitution. This could be impactful to the CNS Spikers, George. It's going to be a forceful substitution, but you think with the depth in this team, they can still manage?
I think they can still manage through, because they still have good and excellent player right on their bench that could come in and eventually change the game or make the game keep the pace and the quality and the style of play. But this same scenario has been one of the scenarios that affected the ABM of Katsina earlier on in the male category. While the first setter fell on the floor, he twisted his ankle and he could not continue again. Since the young man was out, before the young man was out, they were leading by 5 points, but since he went out, they could not keep up with the game. Before you know it, Jada Volleyball Club of Bauchi just had their way through because the first setter was out. So right now, this is the same thing is about to happen with CNS Spiker, but I believe CNS Spiker can manage through.
Of course, talk about them managing through. They made 5 become 6. Jersey number 5 of CNS Spikers, they helped them get that point, crucially, Hajara Aldu. But you will know that jersey number 19 was the one who was weeks away from the court, Doris Dowuse, as Naomi Alero replaces her when they still lead here in the game, and it's still point against 2. Went away out of the line, and another point for CNS Spikers, who continue to be in charge irrespective of their medical shortage. 7-2. That makes a 5-point lead. In game number 5 of match day 5, and they had a really hustle for that one. She threw herself away, but it wasn't enough for Choma KK, who will now get back to the bench as a libero, will be in better place to add to the dig. Well, Iwara patience. I mean, it calls to question sometimes. You find a team coming up with the first 6, and then you don't find a libero in the squad. But when you have a libero, doesn't it give you a better chance of digging better and bumping the ball even much more higher?
Yeah, some of the big advantage of the liberos is that they are excellent in defending, and sometimes we call them master diggers. But it might be surprising that you could also have other position 4 players who are also excellent in digging. So if you have such players on your court, it makes the job more easier for the libero, especially when it comes to first pass. But when it comes to defense, some kind of unbelievable save, you always need a libero on your team.
Well, absolutely, you will need a libero to actually make a completion of the squad, and everybody paying close attention to that responsibility. The libero is always there to provide defensive support. And talk about number 4, the number 4 position being played by jersey number 5 of CNS Spikers, Hajara Aldu, just threw away one crucial point, and they will now be only one in charge with 1 set as Olalomi Royal Spikers come close. They've won the last 4 rallies to make it 6 from 2, 6-7 in the second set, which they lost the first 15-25. Really dig. Duck perfectly. Andrea have to put up there, but she is the only one in the same spot, and there's no way a double hit would be allowed. Jersey number 8 for Olalomi Spikers, Lawal Aisha, continue to create some falls and balls with her hairstyle. Look quite distant on the court from everybody else in the orange color. Tells you about her very distant character. And absolutely every player here brings something special to the table. Just as the captain of Olalomi Royal Spikers, jersey number 1, Christiana Onifade, who seemed to have been one of the most inspiring players in the tournament. Well, she has actually seen the toughest of times, seen the worst of it actually, if you want to ask me. The very first game was welcome to the National Division 1 to them. 2 sets down. But then she led the resuscitation and the revival was complete as they won eventually 3-2. The timeout is complete, so it is timing. (9-6), a 3-point lead for CNS Spikers. A great service. And that will hit down, but out of the line. Well, there seems to be contention with that. The line judge spotted out, but the first referee, Olariwaju Abdul Razak, spotted in, and he will always have the final call.
Yeah, he would definitely have the final call. At a moment while I saw that ball touch the ground, I also saw that it was a good ball. But I wouldn't want to dispute the judgment of the line judge because he is much closer. If he says it's out, who am I from this distance to say it's in? But fortunately enough, the first referee is also up there. He sees the court much better than any of us. He saw that it was a good ball and he gave the point right back to CNS Spikers. That was a good call from the referee.
Well, you say it was a good call. I wouldn't know if it was good or not because I quite saw out. I mean, a couple of times coming this nature, and then we have different opinions or different sides of the reality. I mean, the line judge is the closest to the ball. How could he have not seen that? They were right in front of him. Great service. But it's enough to win the point. And they get back to the deficit of 3-point here. Olalomi Royal Spikers would have to make more to get better. They need to win the set to get to parity. Drop the first 15-25. And that's a big spike. But of course, Welly, just wouldn't finish up. Nifade Christiana quite starting slow today. They always need her to come to the party if they will take the day. She is a charismatic leader. Well, kudos to the Chief of Naval Staff Spikers so far this tournament. I don't think there's any team that has the kind of result or the kind of record they do pose at the National Division 1. For the very first time they are contending, and here they are, 5 wins out of 5. Maybe Nigeria Immigration Service are yet to drop a game, but then Nigeria Immigration Service, having here before, they play at the Premier League before they got relegated, and they've only played 3 games with 3 wins. But kudos to the Chief of Naval Staff Spikers who have 5 games so far. They opened the tournament. Here we are. They are still playing, and with 5 games, they have 5 wins to maintain 15 points on the top of the log. Isn't that incredible?
It is really incredible because, like I tell you from the onset, they have been preparing seriously for this National Division 1 league. Because, like I tell you, in February they attended an invitational volleyball tournament back in Kontagora in Niger State. So that means you could say that, like, since January they have been preparing, knowing fully well that they want to participate in this Division 1. So they did all their scouting and recruitment. They got freshmen and they got good helping hands to help them stay afloat on this Division 1. They are not doing this alone. Even in the male team, they are also getting good number of players to help them be a force to reckon with in Nigerian volleyball. Talking about on the male side, they even also have one of the middle of civil defense to be part of their team.
And exactly how it is how you get to start from bottom to the top. It's always about how much you can do when it comes to sustainability. Maintaining momentum is very crucial in this kind of matters. And for the Chief of Naval Staff, I had a one with the Commodore, the coordinator of the team, Commodore J.A. Pinder, after they won their 4th match on match day 4, and he was very, very optimistic about what the defense headquarters Nigeria is about to do with volleyball in Nigeria. And he talked about how much they have put plans, or they are putting plans in place to make sure that their teams will come running and their teams will come flying at the same time. Their teams will come out not only playing at the top level of volleyball in Nigeria, but still as well, they will be the force to be reckoned with, going to represent Nigeria internationally, which means for you to be able to represent Nigeria internationally, you must be the best in the country, or maybe if not the best, at least the second best if there's a spot for the second best. But you've got to be the best to be able to be the top 2 to represent Nigeria, and that is a huge task if you ask me. But he was very optimistic, and somehow I kind of want to agree with him that they have what it takes if they really are ready for it.
Actually, with what they are doing, and I still have hope for the CNS Spikers that if they eventually scale through to the Premier League, I am still sure there will be other players who will be interested to be part of the CNS Spikers. Now they still have the chance, even in the Premiership, to still represent Nigeria in the CAF Confederation Championship, because in the CAF Confederation Championship you need to be one of the first 3 teams in the league The first three teams are the first, second, third. The three of them will represent Nigeria in one of the championship of the shores of Nigeria.
So there's 3 spots for continental volleyball for Nigeria.
Yes, there is 3 spots for continental ticket for volleyball in Nigeria. If you remember, in the last Premier League, in the male category, we had the Kano to come first, while Custom come second, and the Civil Defense come third. The Civil Defense too were actually supposed to go for Intercontinental, but due to the fact of funding and all that, they could not make it. So that's why I am saying now that there is 3 tickets for a team that participate in the Premier League to represent Nigeria in a continental championship.
Oh yeah. And one thing about the CNS Spikers as well that you will not find hard noticing is their supporters. Their supporters are always there to cheer. The beauty of the supporters is that was a beautiful spike anyways. The beauty of the supporters, getting back to that, is the fact that wherever the team is playing, they will move to the same place to make sure that the team can hear the loudness of their voices when they call their names, when they cheer them, when they try to raise them around. The team can feel the plug, not far away. They're very, very close to make sure that they're well connected, like they are the 7th player on the court all together. And I think that calls for the brilliance and for the entertainment that we have been enjoying here from the very stanza of the tournament. And you can also say that somehow Commodore J.A. Pinder has had a way and an impact in making sure that all of this paparazzi and frenzy is rolled around volleyball in Nigeria. I think that's just beautiful. And they continue to get on hot. She's made 2 spikes for the last 2 occasions and made them perfectly as well. It is jersey number 8 for CNS Spikers, Oye Christiana. And another service will come from Hajara Aldu. Pops it well. It is raised in the air by the captain of Olalomi Royal Spikers, Odifade Christiana. From one Christiana to another Christiana. And another spike will come through from the same lady. She tries to bump it in, but it was a net violation. The first referee, of course, Olarinwaju Abdulrazak, a grade 2 national league badged. Being on top of the game. It comes from Center of Excellence, Lagos State. Oh, well, of course, you want to say that's the commercial hub in sub-Saharan Africa, especially when you consider that to be also the most popular state in the whole sub-Saharan African state. And I mean state, I mean in a very little much more political zone. I mean geopolitical zone. Talk about not in the country now, but talk about in the nation state. Well, for the states, 36 states in Nigeria, apart from the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, Lagos actually has the least amount of land mass, but then surprisingly also has, or rather ironically, it does have the most amount of population in the country. You'd expect me to bring you the numbers. Well, let's get you down to the numbers of the game here. It leads 22-11, and it becomes 23 now. As set number 2 is only 2 points away.
Yes, the CNS Spikers continue to enjoy their smooth flow in winning this match. They are finding nothing difficult about this particular match. They continue to get the point. That's an ace again. That would make it 24-11. And it's going to be a substitution for Olalomi Royal Spike Volleyball Club while the CNS are about to serve. It is a set point for the CNS Spikers. If they get this point, that will be the end of this set.
Well, having won the very first set 25-15, they are on the verge for the second 24-11. CNS Spikers really proven to be one of the force for the Premier League this season. Well, I'd like to point it out very quickly. There's been massive paparazzi, massive frenzy, and of course massive followership globally when it comes to volleyball in Nigeria. Yesterday we had one of the global icons of volleyball enter Nigeria, and he did just come in. He came in with an entourage, of course, and then there was a lot of buzz about it because it takes us to a time, to an era where Nigerian volleyball is beginning to gain international attractions, it's beginning to gain a face in the global market, it's beginning to gain that popularity that can put it on the floor and make sure that it becomes a commodity that actually could be sold as like a product. I mean, all of these gets to augur well at a time like this where grassroots volleyball is actually being taken into consideration in this country.
Yeah, all these kudos we could say might be given to the man himself, Engineer Musa Nimrod, for making sure that volleyball in Nigeria take a new dimension. Before now, I tell you, you never see anything about Nigerian volleyball, most especially domestic league like this, even on television, not to talk of on the social media that could be viewed globally. But with the coming of the man, Engineer Musa Nimrod, he has really taking it upon himself. He took it as if it is his own father's business. That yes, volleyball in Nigeria has to be a force to be reckoned with. And in no distant time, we could see the attraction of the outside world. And even people like Gilberto Jiba has even come into our country to see how things are really done with volleyball in Nigeria. That's a plus.
Well, you might say that the excellent engineer, President Musa Nimrod, has taken volleyball in Nigeria like his father's business, but much more. It looks much more like he's taking the game like his own child. As a result, he pampers the game, he loves the game, he provides for the game, he protects the game, he also projects the game at the same time. I mean, talk about a man who has got passion and hunger and drive to give back to society from a game that he has actually gained from. And when you hear him talk about volleyball and much impact that he want to bring to the game, he tends to want to take you back to his playing days. I want to put you in the kind of loop where you continue to want to put in your mind frame of what it was like when he was playing.
When he was playing, I was not really fortunate to see him play. But a few days ago, I was fortunate enough to get to speak with one or two players who have actually seen him play in his own time. These are players who are already coaches right now. These are coaches who live in the same state, come from the same state with him in Adamawa. They said, wow, they could remember vividly during the days of Engineer Musa Nimrod. And they also make mention of the man, Stephen Hasso, one of the icons of the Nigerian volleyball. They said these guys, during their own days, they were a serious force to be reckoned with. They played excellent volleyball. These are the kind of things we want to see people do. Once you benefit from a particular thing, when it gets to your turn to give back to the society, it will be very nice and imperative for you to also give back to that sport. And that is exactly what Engineer Musa Nimrod is doing right now. That is beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful, of course, to make it 2 sets already here. Chief of Naval Staff. Well, it is 2-0 for Chief of Naval Staff Spikers here. Haven't made 50 rallies in both sets. Their opponent have only been able to manage 29. Having won 25-15, 25-14 as a result of the second set. And here they are, still cruising. Well, they actually won only one game conceding one set. Only one game was where they conceded a set so far in the tournament. So it has been so far 14 sets and only dropping one set. But of course, picking all the points available, it is 15 in all so far. They are about to make it the 15th one if they can conclude it in this third set. We'll come back. The third will be upon us.
Olalomi here to record the set. If Navy should take this set, that's the end of the match. While you Olalomi picks a set, we'll go into the fourth set. Welcome to the indoor sports hall of the Olalomi National Stadium.
And bringing you back to where the ball is a volley. Well, let's take you back into the action here. And it is, of course, the third set in the fifth game of match day 5 at the first phase of 2022 National Division 1 Volleyball League, right in the indoor Sport Hall, Packet B, MK National Stadium, here at the Federal Capital Territory of the city of Abuja, the heart of unity, where it doesn't really count about your tribe or your ethnicity. Now we also are converged under the game that is not just a national conversation. It also holds a lot of relevance in the international community. And it's so glad to see that the Federation of International Volleyball plans developing volleyball in Nigeria, according to the Vice President. Well, Mr. Mustaki Mohammed said the international body is set to assist Nigeria in Nigeria Volleyball Federation in developing the sport in the country. Well, he really gave some words having arrived Nigeria on Monday with the FIVB entourage. which also includes the former Brazilian legend and Olympic gold medalist Gilberto Amori, popularly known as Giba. Well, it's going to be about focus now on the Nigerian volleyball project. Well, a couple of people do not know that apart from football now being the religious sport in Nigeria, some countries actually do have other sports as their occupational sport. Like for instance, Sri Lanka, apart from them being the first country to democratically elect a woman as their prime minister, they also have volleyball as their occupational sport. Now, what do you think it will take to make volleyball become Nigeria's occupational sport? I mean, in the dwindling nature and the unsettling nature of both football and basketball, and even the uncharacteristic definition we've seen from handball, what would it take at the end of the day to make volleyball the occupational sport in Nigeria?
Wow, that's really huge, and I might call it over ambitious. For volleyball to be the major sport in Nigeria, that will be something very, very big and very huge. Football, it's a kind of game that has already gotten this natural kind of love and likeness for most Nigerians. Nigerians who, now let's take for example, if you bring out 100 Nigerians right now that have not seen any sport being played before, and if you present to them volleyball and football, I feel as if a whole lot of them will still want to go play football or watch how football is being done. But regardless, it's all about making everything you got being lucrative, exciting and fun to watch. You make a conducive atmosphere for people to come and watch the game of volleyball. You make the players look good. You try to glamorize it and give it a certain kind of awareness, just as much as football is doing. Then you need to have modern facilities that can make people see that, wow, this game is actually really exciting to come and watch and see. Then perhaps from there you could also begin to have much youngsters and a whole lot of other people want to play volleyball. Sometimes by the time you get to have a whole lot of people get to play, before you know it, their family and relatives, friends and well-wishers will also want to watch it. Then gradually you get to see that it might win the heart of a whole lot of people. But right now I would say it will be very, very difficult for volleyball to be one of the major, or to be the major sport in Nigeria apart from football.
Well, of course, nothing good ever comes easy. It's always difficult to make an achievement, especially one that is worthwhile. But worthwhile, I mean, we have seen a lot of countries, apart from football, choose different sports as their occupational sports, and major as the word connotes. But again, you want to say that Nigeria might just not be different. I mean, you go to the United States of America, it's not football, it is basketball, or rather it is NFL. That's the American football. And then basketball even comes third before soccer, which we naturally call football here. You go to the kinds of Canada, it is much more about hockey, ice hockey, before you can even talk about football there. And it's just recently that they are attending perhaps their first World Cup in so long a time. You go to somewhere like Sri Lanka, like I said earlier, it is volleyball, and then volleyball for them, it's what they eat, breathe, dream, sleep, wake up with, and even get back to court to play. It's about how much passion those that are pushing the sport do have for it. It's about how much sacrifice they are willing to make for the sport. It's about how much hunger they yearn to always have that sport around them and close to them. It's about how much they want to impact the young generation with the right character, with the right discipline, with the right tenet of life with the sport. So it's always about how or what we decide at the end of the day.
Well, in continuation of this discussion, yes, it is true that a whole lot of countries in the world who have chosen other sport to be their occupational sport. If you look at Pakistan, Australia, India, They choose cricket to be their occupational sport. They are so passionate about cricket. Nobody can seem to dare want to take away cricket from them. But these are countries or people who have already been closer to the world of sport even before Nigeria. So these are the kind of sport that has been sold to them right from the initial stage. During the period of time when the British were the colonial masters in India, what they actually sold to the Indians as a major sport was cricket. It was eventually and gradually everybody in the world begins to pick football. It might still surprise you to see that earlier on Brazil, as one of the footballing nations in the world, it was not really football that was one of their love in the world of sport. But eventually it begins to win the heart of almost everybody in the globe. Now the thing is that for a particular country to choose a particular sport to be its occupational sport is not just about an individual country. Football is a global thing. That is where the big problem is. But it is still shocking and surprising that what other sports are doing in the world, in time to come, it might surprise you that football will not be the most viewed sport in the world. Sports like basketball, cricket and ice hockey are fiercely coming. They are not sleeping. They are trying to be sure that they will going to be the most viewed sport in the world.
Well, absolutely. We also get on gray areas here in the commentary box. We talk about critical issues and also look forward to making them come better for the future and for the generation that continue to spring with so much energy, busting, of course, with a passion to be able to propel sport in a different fashion that has never been seen in the most populous black nation of the world, Nigeria. Well, you can know and you should know that sport is the only avenue a young Nigerians, which are much more than 60, 70, 80% of the population of the country, do have a touch to what the federal project is all about. It is only through the Federal Ministry for Youth and Sports that you get to find the development of Nigerian youth come alive. And so when we decide to make sport, any sport, become occupational, it will be about how much of a drive you have amongst the young people. Let's get back here to the game. 10 rallies in the third set, and this could be the very last set between CNS Spikers and Olalomi Royal Spikers. The Spikers affair here for the ladies. Oh, they're beginning to drop point, but they still have one in charge. 6-5 CNS Spikers, but again they lead by 2 sets, and that tells a tale of their control and dominance. They actually won the very first set by a 10-point margin. It even got better in the second, from allowing their opponents to get to 15 the first set. The second set, the opponent was only able to manage 14, which comes one less, or rather one shot. The lead here by 2 points and 2 sets, 7-5 in the third. The Olalomi Royal Spikers continue to fight for their lives. And that's a huge one. Onye Christiana, what a way to actually end it all up there and help them earn points number 8 from jersey number 8. 14 rallies. It is the 15th. The amount of point being reached by Olalomi Royal Spikers, who earned this point with the help of their captain, Onifade Christiana. And she will jump for joy, having earned point number 7, or number 6, I beg your pardon, to make it 6-9. It's an upside down situation. You turn the 6 upside down, you find 9 for CNN Spikers. And when you hear Christiana again with a huge spike, pops it open. It's a chance now for another spike, and they continue to be in charge. They make it fierce. They can run away with this one without even having their opponents come closer to a double digit. But it will be a mountain not too tall. But if they could demoralize the psychology of their opponent, that perhaps could help them pull it through. 10 against 6. 4-point lead for CNN Spikers in the game. And a lot more to be seen. Substitution, Aisha Lawal leaves the court in place for Owoni Joy, who heads straight down to position number 4. Positions to be able to put a spike, but it will be a push from Abdurazak Nana Hawao, and it would be the lady who just came on from the bench, providing the block, and they earn a point from it. Talk about revival, talk about resuscitation. Owoni Joy. But they have conceded 10 points already inside of this set. Only made 7. Deficit of 3. Puts 10 for CNN Spikers. But so far, since jersey number 10, Owoni Joy came through, the jersey number 10 has kept CNN Spikers at bay at 10 as they... Well, the referee says otherwise, says it took a tip there. I mean, it wasn't that clear. I mean, it took a tip. What you see?
Yeah, it took a tip. I don't really see it too, but I suspected it. But if it wasn't a tip, you would have seen some form of protest or complaint from the players to the first official. But for them to concord from their body language, you could see that yes, they admit that there was a touch from their own side. So I think the first official had a good call there.
Well, perhaps yes, perhaps nay, perhaps the official. It's always the official, isn't it? They have the calls, always the officials. But I think the National Division 1 provides the perfect marriage for grassroots and professional play to actually find a common ground. And when it comes to grassroots and professional play, finding the common ground, it means that there will be spaces for a bit substandardness. There is a word like that. And so when referees are being graded, when they have to up their game, this is the platform that provides such opportunities. And for grade 2 nationally badged Abdul Razak Olarinwaju, the first referee here, well, he's also under the recording of the NVRA representative, the Nigeria Volleyball Referee Association representative, and the person of Madam Sheba Jefferson. Well, I also find technical director on the table as well, TD Martins Milandi. They continue to be that determining duo in the technical area of this tournament. Well, they are now ramping out of sight. It's a 9-point lead made open, and it could be 10 if this rally wraps up in their favor. And it does. She had to put herself to the line. That was all it took. Just that effort. Everyone else was caught napping. But Naomi Alero, with the experience she's garnered so far in so many years in the game, she knew just what to do. Boy, did she do it. It's now becoming much more for their opponents. Judging by the amount of points Olalomi Royal Spikers made in both sets of this game, CNA Spikers can actually maximize of the high morale in their camp to pull further and be able to demystify both results they've created already in the game, by not allowing Olalomi Royal Spikers to even get to double digits or even close to 13, which is the highest, or even 14, which was the result of the last set. And Coach Faremi Mary Ulubukola of Olalomi Royal Spikers here is really left helpless by her girls. Today she is not on the celebrator side. Pushes it to the back court, but it's been pulled back. Double touch. Uh-oh. I thought that was a double touch. I mean, wasn't a foot hit. There wasn't a foot hit there. And I can tell that's exactly the complaint coming from the captain of the team, Obaze Blessing. And I don't know. I mean, a couple of calls today.
Yeah, actually, I also saw that even though the setter was a back player, so she tried to cross the ball with the last touch, but actually the one of the Olalomi Royal Volleyball Club touched that ball, but the referee didn't see that. He said the ball did not cross the net. So he is the judge, he is the jury, he has everything in his power. Like somebody says, the referee is like a god. So he decides what happens right now in that place. So, but if you ask me, I would tell you that was not a four touch, but the referee says it is four touch. Perhaps he is much closer.
Well, they always say the referees have got the knife and they also got the yam. It's always about the slice they can give you. That determines the piece you get. Well, hopefully we get to see a better fight as Olalomi Royal Spikers now get to the double digits that seem to have been so long for them to achieve. And with them stuck at 10, jersey number 10 will be substituted Owoni Joy with a bad service as such. Libero Orekoya Antonia will face in on the court for the departing Owoni Joy. She comes in with a big bump for her confidence, and that's also huge enough with the spikes that followed to see them hugely get that point. And they have 11 now. They have 11 points now against 20. question of when now, as the mark of 20 has already been reached. But Olalomi Royal Spikers will want to elongate this. Oh, the libero just drove there, but wasn't enough. Looked like a slush.
That was brilliantly done. She did that real. By the time she jumped that high, I was also thinking she was going to push the ball backward, but she didn't push the ball backward. She just tipped it right behind the blockers, and the backup players could also anticipate that, and eventually she got the point. That was brilliantly done.
Well, a flip of numbers or a flip of digits or a flip of figures is what we have on the board. 1-2 for 12 for Olalomi Royal Spikers. 2-1 for 21 for CNS Spikers. And that's exactly how the cookie crumbles at the moment. Oh, drop shot. But well read by the number 2 position with jersey number 2 as well. Ike Rachel Joy of Olalomi Royal Spikers, and they get it back in play somehow. And they will take the point. So much resilience to see that rally go in their favor, and they totally deserve it. It is now 13 as they have cut down the deficit of 10-point lead for CNS Spikers. They have 8 now to chase up. Well, the opener CNS Spikers have got only but 4 to chase up a half of that margin. And a half of that margin by full of 8 isn't even enough for Olalomi Royal Spikers to get their full set in the game. But a half of the margin of 8 is enough, at least, for CNS Spikers to get the win by concluding the third set. Rescinded, and the point is now being swapped. It won't be in favor of Olalomi Royal Spikers. There's a contention at the table. It goes for CNA Spikers to wield. It has already been shown on the manual board, but it's yet to be automated. (22-12) or 21-12 or 21-13. You would agree that Olalomi Royal Spikers are really progressing and prolonging the game. But eventually the point will go to Olalomi Royal Spikers. It has now been automated and made general public knowledge as the point is being rescinded from Olalomi Royal Spikers, and it's been given back again. A little bit of some back and forth. I haven't seen them win that point, but another one now been awarded, but 2 CNS Spikers who now rake up for a 10-point lead with only 2 away from set number 3 to wrap the game all over. Looked like it was heading for out, but it was but. The rally continues, but CNS Spikers trying to pull this one in for themselves and she reached down. How did she do that? A very spectacular play here, and the player goes down again. This time she would need some help. Very physical game so far. Both teams hitting at each other. In the very second set, it was CNS Spikers Doris Dowuse who to the ground and refused to get up, except for the aid of the medical team. But now it is a player of Olalomi Royal Spikers are the ones with the player on the floor. And Dr. Oko right there to offer first aid, first hand. She is still down, but still receiving treatment. Seem to be twisted knee. Substitution for the injured player, jersey number 11, to make her way out. Adeyemo Favor, and she will be substituted very quickly. Substituted and brought in her stead is number 9, Seth Fit, who comes in and goes straight to position number 5. Adeyemo Favor now receiving some medical favor from the medical team, as led by Dr. Oko. Well, Dr. Oko is there with the Federal Ministry for Youth and Sports, especially one of the referees that makes trip out with the country when it comes to going out there internationally. We talk about internationally, an international figure of global reputation in the game is right here. Mentioned earlier, Gilberto Amori, aka Giba. Gilberto Giba Amori is in the country, and he definitely will be receiving an exhibition match today. But the exhibition match will have to come later, and right now we've come to the end of the game as they departed just like I predicted. It was 15, 14, 13 from first to third for Olalomi Royal Spikers, who will try again. But it has been 5 out of 5 for CNS Spikers, who will finish their first phase action in this manner. High rising, high flying. Congratulations, CNS Spikers. They remain the team to beat heading into the second phase. Well, that's much we can take on this broadcast. 3-0 in favor of CNS Spikers, who wrap it up with 100% accuracy and win percentage, making it 25-15, 25-14, and 25-13. You can hear them now cheer to their spectators and supporters. They always do that. They always get their energy from the stand, and they always pay off on the court. We'll come back on the court for the last game of the day, match number 6 or match number 5. Thank you so much, George Malaika, for being part of this broadcast.
Thank you very much, Pablo. It has been a wonderful and an exciting encounter in this particular month. See you later.
We'll see you again. It's still the man with the golden voice, the voice of Nigeria, Grand Commentator to the Foreign Republic. My name is Sean Pablo GCFR. We'll be back for the next game.